remembers?
If you didn't do it last week, I think it was Lisa's date with Density, or like we did Millhouse Divided.
We did.
Yes.
Didn't we? Did we not do Hurricane Nettie, or did we just briefly mention it?
I think we might have only briefly talked about it.
Right,
I don't remember us going into much detail.
We will pick up there then. So Hurricane Nettie obviously has it stinks. It stinks. Yes, Mr. Chairman, everything stinks. Yeah. It is one of the best. I think it's the first real Flanders episode that kind of fleshes him out beyond a parody of the religious right in the US in the 90s.
Yeah. No, there was one before, a couple of seasons before this, where Homer became friends with him, and then he graded on Flanders because
but this gives him a backstory.
Oh yeah,
it explains why he's like the way he is.
This episode, I don't think was this the episode where it actually brought up that his parents were beatniks, or was that done before this?
No, this was the first time it was done. It's been done since, where they bring him up and they just show up and it's part of the canon. So this.
I thought they brought it up before, where it was like we were like, oh man, it'll take all over my poems.
I don't think so.
I think is that not the same episode?
No, because this one's the one where they say, we tried nothing and we were all out of ideas.
Well, look, guys, again, fact check us. Let us know in the comments below. Is this the first time that the Bitniks were brought up? I believe that it is. And we find out that Ned hates his parents, which is where all his anger comes from, because apparently he was really angry.
Yeah.
My favorite scene in this is where he's beating up all the kids and going, "Oh, take that, Prune Face! Now I'm Dick Tracy. Now take this, Dick Tracy. I'm Prune Face." It's
I love that they cut him. I love that they cut him off before he could say that he's Dick Face.
But you know what? This episode, I think, for me, makes Ned probably one of the most relatable characters in the show, because like he flies off the handle and then he's just like, I'm just gonna have myself committed, and like if that doesn't speak to me, I don't know what does.
I as I said, like it takes one of the biggest punching bags in the series, from Homer, and actually fleshes him out to the point where you're like, well, you're really trying, like you're really, really trying to deal with this, It's also hilarious. It's one of the funniest episodes. Like a lot of the jokes, when they build the house and it's like, this is the room with electricity, but it has too much electricity, so you might want to wear a hat. And you're like,
and he's like, oh yeah, sure. Great. Like
the low bearing poster.
Opening the little door in this Barney's eye.
Yeah.
This is your master bedroom.
And then it closes over, he's like, oh, my nose.
Or when he's being committed to the insane asylum, it's like, would you like to brought in peacefully or kicking and screaming? Oh, kicking and screaming.
Or he's like, if you ever need anything, just look for the happiest man in Springfield, and it like pans to this other guy, and he's like, no, he's talking about himself.
no,
thanks for noticing me.
I also love when they go to visit him, and they say it's like one of our inmates is a cannibal. You might be pleasantly surprised to find out who it is.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. The writing on this is just so
but
big.
Even like some of the background gags, so you've got like people who are patients in the asylum, and one of them is like the babysitter that tried to rob the kids, tie them up, and it's got so much that it brings back that you just kind of see in the background that you wouldn't really notice.
Absolutely.
It's so great.
Absolutely.
It's I could definitely explain my favorite episode with Ned, purely because like they really, like as you said, like they really did try to find how could they really push him to his limit, like
how could they turn this one-dimensional character into an actual 3D.
But that scene in the church, that scene in the church is like the epitome of that, where he's basically praying to God and like say it, like he's just saying like, I was like, I want to scream it, but I did diddly do it. Like and you're just like, oh wow, that sucks. Like
it's
you are repressed.
But the thing about it is, what's interesting about it is, it kind of is the story of Job, and he references it. He's like, I feel like Job, and then Lovejoy is like, oh, aren't you being a bit dramatic? Saying, no, literally, that's what's happening here. Like it just underscores how much Lovejoy has failed him, really.
But as well as that, like it's also like a great, like it's just a great, like it has like a great message of going, no, like if you're upset about things, you actually have to communicate about that, because otherwise you're actually doing yourself more harm in the long run.
Yeah, it's a real good kind of take on the importance of good mental health and balance as well.
Yeah, how to deal with it constructively.
The message of the episode is you probably go see a therapist.
Yeah.
Or at least like express yourself. Don't hold it into the point where it explodes.
Granted, threatening to run people over the car might be pushing it too far, but you know that.
But at that point, he had already gone over the edge.
See, don't wait until your house gets blown down in the storm to go see a therapist.
And then the rubble burns down.
That's what you do. That's what you do on the internet. Yeah, because it's not bullying if it's on the internet, right?
Apparently.
Allegedly.
Do not bully people. Do not bully people on the internet. Seriously, do not do it.
Again, academic studies show it's a bad idea.
Yeah, don't do it. No one wins. Okay, the next one. Listen, I straight out don't like this one. Sell me on it if you do. It's the Mysterious Voyage of Homer. It's the one with the peppers. It has some good jokes.
So good.
I like it.
Hey, guys, sell me on it, please, because I always skip it. So I'm interested.
It's not so much. Sorry, you go, Katie.
I was just gonna say, for the bit with the tortoise alone, where he's like following the tortoise and it's going so slow, and he gets so annoyed that he like punts it over the horizon.
It's just like it's not even so much like it's got jokes, but it's not even so much for the funniest episode it is, but it's more just for like the interesting abstract stuff that's going on.
Yeah,
like it's Homer on a spirit quest with Johnny Cash as a fox, as a coyote. Like
it's true.
And then a dog.
And then the dog. Hey, dogs can't talk. Roof.
Soulmate Homer.
Find your soulmate Homer. Like I don't know. I think it has some good ideas, and yeah, that part is really good. It just kind of when I watch it and then I remember why I don't like it, it falls apart very quickly at the end.
But like even the part where he's like, you know, he hears the voice saying, "You got to find your soulmate," and he's like, "How? Tell me how." And it goes, "I'm just a memory. I have no new information."
It's very good. It's okay. It's
so good. Like
my soulmate is a lighthouse.
It's just like it's Batman. He really let himself go. There we go. We did get a Batman reference. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We were talking before that Batman.
Who had 45 minutes?
That sneaky scamp. He got in there.
He got in there. Yeah.
Batman. Like I think like one of my favorite kind of bits about it as well is just like that he really like he goes into it's like this whole introspective thing for like Homer on what actually is a soulmate for him, what makes someone a soulmate for him.
Yeah.
And because Marge is mad at him for understandable reasons, he immediately goes, well, then if she's angry with me, she can't be my soulmate, which is stupid, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's Homer.
Yeah,
it's Homer. He's not a smart dude.
No, he's not. But it's you know what I mean, though. And like basically he just goes off on this ridiculous journey of just going through Springfield on a random night looking for his soulmate. And then
that's how you're gonna find it.
Yeah, on a hallucinogenic chili high.
Yeah, no, brought on because of a hallucinogenic chili high. So because he's completely sober doing it. Trying to find his soulmate, you know.
Yeah.
And then like eventually gets to the point where like he's so broken down that he finds a lighthouse and going, the most lonely man in the world, he'll be my friend. And then gets there to find out that it's an automatic when he's like
so
I just love there's like a nice little kind of like pathos to it.
And then of course it ends with short shorts.
Yes.
It does, which is always
which I always forget. It's like, oh, I'm in trouble now. Oh man. Okay, so we move from there to a series of 5 episodes, which 3 of them actually involve like a lot of cultural of its time, like messing around with cultural stuff. So there's a lot to unpack on those. So we're going to take them bit by bit. The next one is the Springfield Files, which is the first time really where we've had a celebrity kind of just play themselves, but not in the sense of they're in it. I mean, like they're literally doing nothing different other than just being themselves. And we've seen
Are we talking about Leonard Nimoy?
We're talking about Leonard Nimoy. We're talking about the X-Files, but Leonard Nimoy's being himself, and he's just there.
Wasn't Leonard Nimoy in the monorail episode?
He was in the monorail episode as well.
One second though, but it's wrapped up in this this X-Files parody, right? Yeah. So it's the first time that we have the bookend where inside the show, Leonard Nimoy is reading a book and he's introducing character. That's never happened. We've had him as a character interacting with the rest of the characters. But what's interesting about this is Leonard Nimoy never actually talks to anyone from The Simpsons other than the guy who's running the show. So this is the first time that's going to happen. So they're breaking the TV fourth wall several times here, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Then he decides to go off,
and then he goes.
Then he beams away.
And he beams away. But I really
like put him on your hot dog.
And then again, he comes back in, so it is what it is. I think this is great. It has a lot of really funny Simpsons moments. It's one of my favorite Mr. Burns episodes as well because it adds more layers to him. Actually, this one and Mountain of Madness, which is coming up in 2 more episodes, that is my favorite Mr. Burns episode. But a lot of Mr. Burns is in this season as well, and a lot of this kind of really pushing the absurdity that we've seen in the other seasons to its logical conclusion without breaking it. Season 9 is coming up, guys, so watch out. It's about to get rough. Yeah. But where would you place this one, guys?
The Springfield Files?
Yeah.
It's one of the best episodes in the season. I'd happily say that. I think in terms of having like celebrity voices, it's one of the strongest episodes, but I wouldn't necessarily put it top tier.
Okay.
I like my favorite bits in the episode aren't necessarily don't really involve Mulder and Scully all that much, except for one specific line. Yes, it's like a lava lamp. But outside of that, like my favorite moments of it is like Homer going down the dark road, bus comes around and has the Psycho music playing, and then it turns out there's people playing the music in the bus. I just love that. I think it's brilliant.
I think it is like I think it's one of the highest just persistence of joke per second. Every absolutely. Second of like one of my favorite moments is just the FBI badge with him in the bikini. That's great. And as Bryn is quite clearly showing off the orca, that's Mo carting that.
Quick, get him back to SeaWorld.
Well, I mean, the FBI badge thing, wasn't that a nod to the fact that like David Duchovny was an adult film star?
Was he?
Before the X-Files, he did adult films, and I think that's that was a nod.
Doesn't shock me at all. David Duchovny is a strange dude. We love him, but he's a weird dude. Doesn't shock me at all.
Futurama, he's one of the best robot actors of his time.
Absolutely. The next one has my favorite line in it, and I use it pretty much on a weekly basis. It's the whole monologue about where's the money. It's like, my wife, she keeps asking, where's the money? Why aren't you going to get the money? Where are you going to get the money now?
Why don't you have the money now?
Why don't you have the money now? And so on. And I just love it. Also, it has the whole, you can call them whitey whackers. Oh no, this is a terrible day for baseball. And it's just that alone just makes it so good. And then it comes the big Yakuza mafia fight at the end as well. I want to see the little one. We don't know what he's going to do. You know he's going to do something. It's going to be good.
Comes in through the window. I was like, I am very sorry.
1,000 apologies.
So good. So look, I would say, as from an episode that isn't like the best ever, it does have like the story is very, very poor. Yeah. But it is super fun, and you can have a great time watching it.
It's probably one of the worst, like in terms of plot. It's one of the worst episodes in terms of plot. Oh,
absolutely. But there is very little plot in it.
The jokes that it has completely elevate it.
Yeah.
To other playing, I think.
I think it's kind of like a running thing with The Simpsons as well, is that when it's a Marge-centered story, it's generally not as good as like a Homer or a Bart-centered story.
Like for example, Katie, right? Here's what the plot is according to Wikipedia. When Marge's new Presto franchise does poorly, Homer turns to Fat Tony and a mob for some assistance.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's the plot.
That's the plot of the episode.
That's it. And that's mostly the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, everything else is self. Yeah.
That is the entire plot of the episode.
Now, there is something intrinsically in Marge trying to sell pencils that just kind of isn't funny.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of building around it.
Compared to the next one, Mountain of Madness, after a chaotic fire drill at the nuclear power plant, Mr. Burns organizes a team building exercise in the mountains, but an avalanche traps him in an isolated cabin with Homer. That's already way more exciting than what you think. Love this episode. I love everything about this episode. It is one of my top 5. And everything. I love everything.
I really love the B plot of Marge, of Bart and Lisa just like
annoying
holding up
Smithers.
as much as possible.
Yeah.
Mr. Smithers, I think this true also sprained its ankle.
Good.
Or just the bit at the end where they go into the new cabin and it's like, sorry, Lenny, you're fired.
That miserable old goat. Oh, so good.
Yeah, no, like
definitely
I don't think it's one of my favorites. Just I don't think every joke landed for me, but it's got a lot. Like we're talking in the level of season 8. Like it's a high bar that's just not there for me. But like the jokes that land. Like when they put the clothes in the snowman and they're imagining them as more figures, and it's Mr. Burns is just a bunch of like 1920s German troops.
I have powers, historical powers. That's so good.
It's very good.
The next one is a straight up Mary Poppins parody.
Yeah,
or Sherry Bobbins, of course.
Don't you mean Mary Poppins? No.
Is the next one not Itchy and Scratchy?
No,
that's the one after. That's the one after it.
Oh, yes, you're right.
So look, it is what it is. It's one of the best parodies ever put to screen. Definitely want to watch. There's not much else I can say that wouldn't ruin the episode.
Songs are good.
Songs are good. Plot's good.
Yeah.
Kind of falls
the morals
apart at the
questionable.
And do a half-assed job. The ending. Will we ever see her again? I think so. When she flies into a plane. You know. But I am jumping ahead a little bit because we only have like 10 minutes left, and we're going to use all those talking about the next one probably, because it's Poochie. And what can you say about the Itchy, Scratchy, and Poochie show, guys?
Where is Poochie?
Exactly. That's part of the rules. Everyone needs to ask where is Poochie. And
when are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
Oh my god. So look, guys, this was a takedown, obviously, of the whole formula of bringing in a character. And they actually have Roy, who we've yet to see since then, which I would love them to bring back as a reference to this. And that's kind of playing out. So this is like deeply, deeply, deeply satirical of that TV format of bringing in a character when it gets boring. But everything about
changing up the voice actor, and the audience won't tell the diddly difference.
Exactly. Where do you like? I don't know, man. I love Poochie. I think they should bring him back. They can't because they signed a legal document said that they would, and he has to go back to his home planet. But
and then he died on the way.
But Captain Marvel came back from her home planet. So
they had to bring her back for plot purposes.
But she didn't sign a legal document saying we can never talk about her again.
That is the difference.
That's fair.
Like they conveniently wrote her out of Infinity War. Yeah. Very conveniently, and they were because I remember seeing Infinity War and then seeing Captain Marvel, and I was like, "Where was she?"
Yeah, what were you doing?
Off helping like 20 other planets, not this one. It's fine.
You guys have this. You know, it's like
you were helping the one planet that you needed to, and everybody died.
That's a very fair point. She probably shouldn't have been so selfish. That was kind of like.
But it brings me back to like in the first Avengers where suddenly the Hulk can control himself because he's always angry for the purposes of plot.
Yeah, fair. Very fair point.
Yeah. But that was foreshadowed at the end of the Ed Norton one, so
yeah.
And I suppose he is playing a direct continuation of that version of the Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I think this is a really we're not going to get through the rest of season 8 here. We're just not going to do it because we're getting to some really good ones, and it'd be a shame to go through them. So we're going to have to extend this out one final week.
Oh no!
Oh no! Not again.
Whatever will we do?
So we will finish it off. But guys, do you want to jump to Homer's phobia, or will we wrap up?
I think we'll wrap up. I think.
Absolutely.
I think Homer's phobia has too much to talk.
It does. It has way too much to talk about, even just for the Everybody Dance Now scene, which is brilliant. So guys, so we'll pick up there next week where Homer's phobia, season 8, episode 15 of The Simpsons, guys. So do your homework and watch the rest of it because we're going to be breaking those down. But before we go, Bryn, where's the show? Where's the show? Why aren't you doing the show? Where's the show?
My wife, she keeps asking me about the show.
That's so honest. So
as I said last week, it's going to be ready for next week.
Spring 2022.
The virus has moved it back. It's okay.
No, as in like it was. I knew last week that I was going to be ready for. Like I've got the first pass of recording done. I have a couple of pickups I have to do. I know, but I'm expecting to have that fully edited down, and I should have that ready for next week. I'm aiming for Tuesday, but we'll see.
Brilliant. Cool. Well, follow our social media. We'll find we'll update that when it goes live as well, so you can check it out. Kev, you have a show coming up soon, man. Next Monday.
Yes, it is a very exciting week for me, actually, because
to be honest, I thought it was this Monday. I'm like, oh no, I forgot.
The heart attack you gave me when you sent me a message. It's like, hey, Kev, we're at the show in the folder. I was like, I haven't edited it yet.
It's not done yet.
It's not done yet. Yeah, no. First Monday of every month, which makes it the 6th. So next Monday is the new episode of Anime Crash Course. Me and Cian deep dive into Steins Gate. And honestly, I thought my mind just unraveled during the recording of that episode. I thought it made no sense. But upon re-listen, it actually is a cohesive episode, thankfully. But on top of that, speaking of Cian, I will be featuring on the newest episode of the Game Corner, Cian's gaming show, where the two of us are just going to spend the entire time gushing about Fire Emblem Three Houses, because both of us have knocked nearly 200 hours into that game each.
Yikes.
It's a long old game. Is it a dating sim?
It might be.
Tune in and find out.
Tune in and find out.
Anything's a dating sim if you try hard enough. So there you go, as we discussed in our panel. And Katie, what is coming up this week?
Yeah, we have another episode of Doing It for the Exposure tomorrow or 2 days ago, whichever comes first. We have our first body painter, it's not me. There are other body painters besides me. So that's going to be really, really good. And also we kind of have it in the plans, but it's not 100% confirmed yet. There may be 2 episodes of Doing It for the Exposure this week, because we got some very, very bad news about the Icon Factory in Temple Bar.
Oh no.
So we want to get the word out there, and we're hopefully going to have some artists from the Icon Factory over the weekend as well.
Okay, very cool. So the best thing to do is keep an eye on the social media. Everything's going to go up on YouTube, obviously, and that kind of stuff as well. So if you're not subscribe to the shows. It's all free. It's all going to be kept free. And we have a lot more content coming up. The Wrestling Rewind has just dropped. A very, very decent show, if I might say so. And then there was a special show that I didn't think I was going to do on Friday with Nephilim and Giant Researcher. So it's a follow-up from The Dark from episode 3. So that is a crazy conversation. And we're going to do part of a series once I finish his book. So check that out. There's a lot on the feed, guys. So if you're not subscribed, or if you're just listening to us on Phoenix FM, what are you doing? Go over to NerdtoKnowMedia and then follow us there, guys. Come on, you're missing out. You're missing out.
Go 30 years.
Do it.
Exactly. Go to this.
Just remain indoors and listen to us elsewhere.
And don't think about the event.
No, do not think about the event. That's how, or the game. Isn't that it? Don't think about the game.
I lost the game.
Wow,
well done.
I know. All right, guys. Well, this is going to wrap it up.
Better than the event, so.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week, same time here on Phoenix 92.5 FM, and of course, we stream every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. So we'll see you next week, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.